Aaron, how did the toe feel today? Will you have surgery this week, or are you just going to try to see if rest will take care of it?
The toe felt good most of the game. Was just actually in talking with the docs. Not sure at this point. We're going to do some more testing in the morning and get a better view of what's going on in there, and then make a decision at that time.
Matt Steinman.
Aaron, you know better than anyone, this team hasn't been known for making these big in-season splashes, but you're beating teams that have, the Cardinals with Ertz, these guys obviously with Odell, and you're doing it with guys like Randall, Devondre, Bojo, Rasul. What do you think about the contributions you've gotten from some of those new guys and how those role players have helped you become the team that you guys are through 12 weeks?
Yeah, I'm really proud of those guys. I mean, it's like you say the same thing all the time when you talk about Rasul. Like, how is this guy in the practice squad? I mean, the dude has just made so many plays for us. He's got great instincts, good ball skills, opportunistic plays for us. Devondre, how was he not wanted by anybody? I said it a while back about 2010. There were a lot of guys on that team, I feel like, that weren't wanted by certain people. Certain teams thought they were done or just couldn't find a place for them. So I'm really proud of those contributions. Obviously, Randall is near and dear. Great getting him a touchdown, and then obviously the big play on the seam ball. I was teasing with him after the game. I don't remember the last time I hit him on a seam. Might have been the 2016 playoffs against the Giants, and definitely haven't hit him on a choice route in forever. So it's fun having him. And then the contributions, obviously, from Devontae and AJ, and the offensive line was fantastic. One kind of the phantom sack, that gift I gave my workout buddy Greg Gaines there with a 0-yard sack on the scramble. I thought they did a nice job. I thought we mixed it up with the quick game, get the ball in my hand. And we ran the ball just well enough tonight, but and obviously came up, a little short in the red zone a couple times.
Ryan Wood.
Aaron didn't do a lot on the ground today. I think he just had 2 carries. But what does it do for the offense to have him and have AJ together after not having both last week?
That was like C-3PO right there on a delay. Am I delaying as well?
No, you're good. I think, did you get the gist of his question?
Yes, about Aaron Jones being able to play.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's terrible. Just to have him with AJ, to have them together again, what does that do for the offense after not having Aaron last week?
Yeah, you need a 1-2 punch in this league. You need 2 guys that can do it, and they do it so differently. AJ as a slasher, or sorry, Jones as a slasher. I mean, he's AJ as well, and then AJ Dillon is kind of a downhill bruising back. So I'm proud of AJ. I think he's played really well for us, and when Jonesy's been there, and also when he's been the feature back, he's come a long way and done some nice things for us. But obviously, we're a better football team when 33's healthy.
Phil Huber.
Hey, Aaron, I will spare you the entire injury list, but if I'd have told you that you'd have David for 0 games, Darius, and so on and so on and so on, I would say 9-3 at the bye. What would you think of that?
I'd say that's a pretty damn good start. When you look at the schedule every year, I've talked about this over the years. I always look at kind of when we play Chicago, when the bye week is, and kind of the first quarter of the season. And then after that, ugly loss in Jacksonville just to open the season. And obviously me missing a game with COVID, and then all the injuries, Jair and Devontae missing the game, and Allen and Marquez missing a lot of time. Bobby Tunyon, being out for the year, Elton Jenkins, Dave, Josh Myers, Z, it's been a lot of adversity for sure. So I'm proud of the guys. We've had so many guys step up though in in their stead. Guys we expected to play well and guys we didn't expect to maybe play a whole lot or even be a part of the football team. So really proud of those guys and their efforts. I've highlighted some guys over the season. One guy especially I do want to continue to highlight is EQ. He was released from the team and he's come back to us and done a really nice job. Doesn't always show up big in the stat sheet, but he's a guy I trust a lot and a guy who's made some timely plays for us. So really proud of him and all the other guys who've stepped in. Obviously Rasul, another splash play tonight, but proud of EQ especially.
Steve McGargy.
Just in terms of the way you felt in your pain threshold with the toe, how different did it feel today versus last week, or was there any difference in that regard?
Difference is I didn't have to get shot up again at halftime. So definitely the healing this week, not practicing. Last week I tried to do some stuff on Friday. I felt like we needed maybe a little jolt. And that kind of, I think, impacted Sunday a little bit from a pain standpoint. This week, I just did a walkthrough on Saturday, and obviously all the walkthroughs during the week, but no practice time. I think really helped. Definitely helped looking at the scans, the healing. Kind of get to a better spot. So I've definitely felt better. But third quarter, late third, early fourth, and I got stepped on early in the game. There was definitely some pain I was dealing with.
Wes Hadkowitz.
Hey, Aaron, on that bootleg on 3rd and goal there, what did you see and just how did that feel to get around the corner there and be able to get in the end zone?
Well, that was not the play at all. The play was hand the ball off or throw it probably to Crosby on the left side. Pre-snap, there was 4 over 3 on the left side, so I didn't feel great about that concept. As I got the snap, I just felt like I think Donald was at the 3 technique, and he almost split the guys. And I didn't think it was going to be a great run. So as I faked it to Jonesy, and I think it was Jonesy, or maybe it was AJ, but it faked it and moved to my right. The whole line just crashed down. And I moved to my right and realized it was me and Jalen. Thankfully, he went for the pump fake, and I was able to get around the edge.
Mike Clemens.
I don't know. Is what you guys saw on tape exactly what they showed you? Was it your offensive line? Was it big plays by Randall and then he doesn't come back in the second half? Or is it a quarterback who didn't practice at all last week? I mean, what are your pregame warmups like right now? Is that in your head a little bit, like a little more adrenaline rush? Like, how's this going to go? Because it looked to me like your flow was the best of the season.
Now, look, when I step on the field, I expect greatness. I think anyone who's a great competitor feels the same way. So, I don't lean on excuses and not practicing, a little toe injury. I expect greatness when I take the field. And, it definitely isn't the ideal situation not to practice. But I can go out there and take mental reps and go through the plan and my preparation and feel good about what I'm doing. And when I get out there, I just got to rely on my instincts. But the beauty is it's an 11-person aside game. And I really feel like the offensive line allowed me to settle in. I thought we didn't run it great, definitely not from an average standpoint. I thought Matt did a good job of mixing up what we were doing on offense and allowing me to get the ball out quickly. Devontae made a number of plays. Randall had some big plays early in the game. And then we got enough contributions from Marquez and AJ in the passing game to move the ball. Now, red zone, again, that's been kind of our bugaboo this season. We had a couple opportunities with short fields on turnovers and only turned them into 6 points. That can't keep going. This should have been a 40-point game for us, like we felt last week, and we're just not clicking in the red zone.
Pete Doherty.
Hey, Aaron, what do you think of how things are shaping up here as you hit the bye in the home stretch of the season? How things have stacked up for you guys?
This was an important one. After the loss last week, to go to 2.5 up with 6 to play in the division, which is obviously the first goal of ours is to win the division. Today, with Minnesota losing and us winning, back to 3.5 up in the division, now with 5 to play. Obviously that puts that division squarely at the end of the tunnel, moving closer to that. In the conference, obviously Tampa is going to be tough. Arizona's leading it right now at 9-2. The Rams have a great football team. So there's still a lot to be figured out in the conference, but I like where we're at. I like our football team. This is shaping up. We got some more home games down the stretch. These are the type of winter games, where we can and have effectively thrown the football. We've controlled the clock for almost 40 minutes. This is what makes it so difficult to play in Lambeau. So we got to win our division first, secure that home playoff game, and then we have the tiebreaker over Arizona. So we're right on their heels right now.
Marty Hendricks.
Aaron, how are you going to rest and relax on the bye week?
Well, I'm gonna get treatment every single day, and I got a lot of books. Big shout out to people across the country and world. Since we've been doing our book club on the McAfee Show, I have probably got 100 books from people all over the country. I have probably read the back flap on most of them. And there was definitely, I appreciate the humor I found in reading some of the back flaps on some of these books, but I do have a lot of books to get to, and but the most important thing is healing and taking care of my toe.
Cassidy Hill.
Aaron, you mentioned stalling twice in the red zone, but Mason was able to still get you 6 points. That had not been a certainty in recent weeks. How big was it to see him kind of go back out there tonight and get back into his groove?
Yeah, that was important. I've always said two of the best kickers that I've seen over the years are Mason Crosby and Robbie Gould, because of the conditions those guys have had to kick with for the majority of their career. Now Robbie's moved on in San Francisco, but as far as clutch goes, those are two of the clutchest kickers I've ever seen, because the elements in both Soldier Field and Lambeau Field are very difficult to kick in. Now, over the years, Alan and his staff have done a great job at the field. I mean, the field now compared to years past, it's incredible how it holds up, and the footing is obviously much different than it was, let's say, over a decade ago, as they've learned, how to get the field in tip-top shape. So that definitely helps with, I think, all, footing and field goals. So I'm proud of Mace, making those kicks early, and those are important ones for us, even though, we had opportunities to stretch it to 2 and 3 score games. Those are important moments for us.
Wes Hodkiewicz.
Hey, Aaron, I know you touched on the offensive line, but Yash jumping back in at left tackle, just what do you think of the job he did, and especially under the circumstances in that defensive front that LA has?
Yeah, man, I gave him a big hug after the game and told him I almost forgot about that side of the line. And that's a huge compliment, because I didn't have any worries about my backside. He did a great job. Really proud of him. You're going against two likely Hall of Famers and a stud in Floyd, who's been doing it at a high level now for half a decade. So that's a tough job, and to step in and play as well as he did, really proud of him. I thought the line did a good job. I took a few shots, but I was able to deal the ball for the most part and get the ball out of my hand, and just the one kind of phantom 0-yard sack on the record tonight is a pretty damn good job by those guys up front.
Aaron Nagler.
Aaron, with that said about the offensive line, how important or how much of a emphasis was it this week to get the ball out of your hands quickly? Because it seemed like 3rd and 10 or longer, like they were like you could not step up in the pocket on a number of your throws just because it seemed to crash down on you really quickly.
I think anytime you play in a great front, there is an emphasis on that. What can make that difficult is, you can get pressure with your front four and play 2 shell behind it. And they did play a lot of 2 shell, but I think what it's allowed us to do is, as you've seen the defenses change around the league, is us to really hone in on certain concepts that we like, and then adjustments off of those concepts against 2 high shell, because that's been, our defense does it a lot. And obviously LA, is where Joe B came from. So there's a lot of 2 shell in the league. And I think we've done a good job of really kind of honing in on those concepts where I can deal the ball in a timely fashion, and we're not, trying to wait for one-on-ones, down the field. We're doing a good job with 2 and 3 man concepts of scheming guys open and allowing me to throw with anticipation.
MK Burgess.
Aaron, do you got me? Razul said that you guys have not played your best ball yet, and the ceiling is so high with this team that when you guys do, it could get scary. Do you guys think you've played your best ball yet? And what do you think about where this team can go?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that conversation is coach talk, I think, kind of seeping down. Allows coaches, when you have performances that are very good, but you left some points on the field or gave up more points than you wanted to, allows the coaches to really have some things to coach on. I think we've been improving offensively the last couple of weeks. We played better football for sure. It's tough though. I mean, you're playing against a defense that was number 1 ranked defense last year and returned a lot of their guys, a lot of studs on that side of the ball. And then obviously Matty on the other side and the weapons that they have. We knew we were going to have to score some points tonight, that they were going to, probably score some points, and we needed to, to put together a good performance. So I'm not going to, hem and haw about what could have, what should have. Fact is, we had some opportunities in red zone, but we still put up 30 points on offense and against a great defense. That's a pretty good night.